Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Okay, y'all, I wanted to show y'all this real quick. Okay, I ran across this on Facebook, and this is a very controversial topic. Okay, very controversial. Now, it says pastor calls out a cross-dresser in the middle of church service. Okay, this article was published on the 13th of November, and it's going to tell you about a pastor who asked a man in the in the middle of service, okay, a man in the crowd who's also a member of the church to go put man clothes on. Come back dressed like a man. Okay. Now, the way this article is, it says pastor, cross-dresser. Okay, anyone that's educated enough in this area knows that there is a difference between a cross-dresser and, say, a transgender. Okay, I'm not going to get into all of this right now because that would take a lot more time. But I did just want to throw that out there for y'all that don't know that. Okay, this is the pastor right here. This occurred in Chicago, Illinois. I'm going to just read this short article for y'all. I'm going to show y'all a very short video. And then I'm going to explain my take on it. Okay, and I'd also love to hear what everybody else's thoughts are on this, I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. So I'd love to know, whether y'all agree with me or not. That's fine. Y'all don't have to. But I'd love to know what everyone else thinks about this. It says, during a church service, a pastor called a parishioner out for cross-dressing. The pastor asked the man who was dressed like a woman to leave the church and go put on man clothes. I hold a standard in here. Whatever you do on the outside is your business, but I will not let drag queens come in here, Pastor Antonio Rockamore said to the cross-dresser in front of the congregation. Rockamore is the pastor of Powerhouse International Ministries in Chicago, Illinois. There has been no shortage of comments circulating on social media about Rockamore's comments to the man. Several are calling into question the efficacy and the Christ-like nature of asking a person to stand up in front of everyone and then calling out their problem. One critic, Christian James Lullier, shared the video of a young man being called out in a very pointed post on his Facebook page. In a place that is supposed to be a place of change, a place of deliverance, whatever you want to call it, why would you destroy someone in front of a room full of people? This is the kind of bullcrap that causes people to go home and commit suicide. Shoot, like this is the reason that the church has no power in 2018 because they are so worried about the wrong things. In a Facebook Live video to his congregants, Rockamore discussed the incident and attempted to clarify what happened. Rockamore explained the young man he addressed is not, as some people claimed, a stranger off the street. Instead, he is a full member of the church. Additionally, the man was not asked to leave because he was gay, as some people claimed. Rockamore said he felt no need to call the man out for homosexuality because sin is sin. There's no need to bash one or the other if you're preaching the word. Addressing several other claims made by critics on social media, Rockamore said the man was not asked to leave and never come back. Rather, he was asked to go change and come back when he was wearing men's clothing. Rockamore spent a few minutes explaining that when someone joins the church, all the rules of the church are explained to that person. There are certain rules concerning modesty that women are asked to adhere to at Powerhouse. For instance, females who join the church are told not to wear leggings to church. As for this young man, Rockamore said he told the pastor he wanted to sit under a man and be shown how to be a man. He agreed to follow the rules of the church. which Rockamore made clear, including dressing as a man. When the young man slipped by dressing like a woman, Rockamore said he addressed the young man's sins several times in private. The young man was doing good for a long time, but he slipped again into cross-dressing. The video of Rockamore confronting the young man about his dressing habits publicly were recorded at a Sunday evening service on November 11, 2018. Rockamore explained, "He challenged me publicly, now I challenged him back publicly." Some critics speculate the pastor asked security guards to escort the young man out of the church, but Rockamore said there was no security involved, nor was the young man kicked out of the church. Rockamore emphasized he holds the same standards with everyone in church, including his own family members, who he admits to having called out before. The pastor believes he's done everything he can to communicate the rules and then enforce them equitably. If you don't like the rules of any house, don't go there. Below, you can watch the video of Rockamore confronting the young man. What do you think? Was he right or wrong to handle the incident this way? I'm going to play this quick video, and then I'm going to discuss how I feel about it. Okay?
You sit on in the aisle, please. Can you leave my church and go put on man clothes? And don't come here like that no more.
Thank you, Jesus.
I hold a standard in here. Mm-hmm. Whatever you do on the outside is your business. But I will not let drag queens come in here. And y'all gonna come in here, you're gonna dress like a man. Now, whatever you do on the outside, that's your business. But when you come in this house, if you're a man, dress like a man. If you're a woman, you dress like a woman. I'm not going to allow it. My salvation is more important. And God is holding me accountable. Now, whatever you do outside these doors, I don't bash, I don't judge. But when you come in here, you will not be a drag queen. Amen. The Holy Ghost tells me in my spirit that is drag queens sitting here with wigs on. I'm going to ask you to be removed from the sanctuary. But you cannot, I will not play this game. You will not, I don't care if you don't clap and you don't like it, don't come here. You will not be wearing wigs and heels and fooling people up in here.
Come on. Come on.
So you can fool people, but see, I got the Holy Ghost for real. I can pick your spirit up in the back of the church.
Hallelujah.
Now, if you don't know me, don't come here and play with me. Okay? I can pick the spirit up. He was bothering my spirit. I had to see what he had on.
Thank you, Holy Ghost.
Because that's a man, that's not a woman.
What was it, prophet?
Now, whatever you do on the outside, between you and God, you can dress drag all day. But you got to respect the rule of the house. Now, they may allow it at other churches. But if I know you a man with a wig on, I'm either going to snatch that wig off or you got to get up out of here. Because as for me and my house, y'all ain't talking. You ain't got to never come back here, but you're not going to wear no heels in here.
Come on. Come on, prophet.
Anybody that knows my preaching, you know I don't call fags.
Come on. Come on.
I don't do no bashing because everybody is struggling with something. But what I'm not going to do is allow you to disrespect the house of God. Now that I can't do. You talk about me, put me on live tonight.
Come on.
Okay, you can spread this all over the world.
Come on.
And tell every drag to come and try me.
Come on.
Because I stand for holiness.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
I can't make nobody live right, but I'm going to make you respect this house at 7040 Southwestern, or don't come here. Come here throwing no wig and you a man.
Come on. Come on.
We're not going to do that not up in here.
Come on.
I knew something was messing with my spirit.
Come on, man.
Now, Other churches will go for it because they like the compromise mess.
Yeah.
That's why the Holy Ghost can't dwell there.
Come on. Hey.
The Spirit and the real authentic oil can't dwell where you compromise and mess it.
Come on, sir.
I know I ain't gonna get too many people to scream when I say this, but holiness is still right. See, that's
Okay, now what do y'all think about that? You know, personally, I feel like the way he handled that was so wrong. Okay, that's my personal opinion. I feel like he was wrong. I feel like he was very wrong. He says he don't judge, but he's judging. He's judging in church. You know, you're judging. You're calling people names, okay? You're doing a lot of things that is not right to do, especially inside of a church, especially as a pastor. You know, I understand some people feel like certain things are wrong, you know, and yes, there are things in the Bible, you know, that says this is a sin, that is a sin, things like that. Okay, I understand that. I do understand that. But you're calling this man out who is a member of the church, who has decided to discard of it, you know, and sacrifice anything else that he might have wanted to do on a Sunday to go to church. So why are you telling this man to leave to go put on something different? You know, I don't know what he had on because I didn't see any of that on the video, okay? I didn't see what he had on. But the thing is, I know in the Bible, it says, come as you are. Come as you are. You know, and the way I look at that is, you know, I mean, you come as whoever you are. I wouldn't suggest going into a church, you know, with like booty shorts or nothing on. You got to have some type of respect for where you are. But at the same time, for God's sakes, if this man feels more comfortable in women's clothing, why can't he go to church and praise the Lord? And if someone feels like that he's sinning so terribly or needs to be delivered from evil, kicking him out of the church or telling him to leave is not the solution. If anything, he should be prayed for and prayed upon, that maybe he would hopefully change. Okay? But telling him to leave the church and go put on something different is not the answer. Especially calling someone out in public. And to be honest, I hope that man never goes back to that church. Because now this video has gone viral. This video of this man has gone viral. And, you know, and this man who went to church dressed like a female is now completely humiliated. I'm sure he was humiliated the day that he was told to leave by the pastor. You know, and it's terrible to think that someone could be treated like that. That's my personal opinion. You know, I don't like to see anybody treated wrong. And I believe that, you know, my beliefs might not be, you know, aren't the same as everybody else's. Everybody don't believe in the same thing, and that's fine. You know, but I do know that, you know, and it is a scientific fact that some people, okay, which causes transgender, okay, because transgender isn't just a man that says, oh, you know what, I'm going to put a dress on. That's not transgender. A straight man that just says, you know what, here, I want to throw a dress on just for the hell of it. That is not transgender. Transgender is something, it is like a gender identity issue that you're literally born with. You're born with that. It's literally like being a boy trapped inside of a female's body, or a female trapped inside of a man's body. And in order to find out whether, literally, all you got to do is have your hormones tested, which is a lot of money. Okay? And you really, who is he? Who is this man right here, this pastor, to say anything about somebody else? He said it was bothering his spirit. But why is that bothering your spirit? None of that should be affecting you. Because if anything, he's up there to preach the word of God. You know, he's supposed to be up there preaching and trying to deliver a message to the audience that he has. Not bash people. I mean, because I'm listening to the man, he says he don't bash, he don't do this, he says something about bags. Like, I mean, this is in church. This is in church. This is coming out of a pastor's mouth. I don't bash, I don't judge, I don't do this, I don't do that, but you're doing it in church. You say you don't judge outside of church, but you're judging in church. Which I feel like, when you're doing something wrong like that, and you're a pastor and you're in church, shouldn't that make it worse? That's a sin. So how are you going to call this man out for what you feel is a sin when what you're doing ain't right? If anything, if he felt a certain way, that's when he should have called this man to the side after church and said, hey, you know, I want to talk to you for a little bit. You know, what happened? Thought you were, you know, doing good. You know, do you want me to pray for you? I was always taught in church, you hate the sin, but you love the sinner. You're supposed to love everybody, you know. And when someone is sinning, you're not supposed to judge them. You're supposed to pray for them. You're supposed to pray for their healing, pray for their deliverance. Not judge them, not talk about them, not call them names, not call them out in front of people, not humiliate them or embarrass them. That is so wrong. That is so wrong. And I feel like that man handled it in a very terrible manner. Because all things can be handled in an appropriate way. And this is one of them that wasn't. You know, and it's sad. It is sad. And like that one, the one guy said that posted this video on his Facebook. He said this is the reason basically why a lot of churches have no power in 2018. Because of things like this. And that is so true. So true. The churches, like he said, the churches are worrying about things that they really shouldn't worry about. They're not worrying about the things that they need to worry about. And I feel like this, you know, as long as you're not coming to church dressed like a slut or something, it really shouldn't be an issue. But even then, if someone chose to do that, that is their problem. If there's going to be any type of backlash over that, that's something that they're going to have to deal with from God. If that, you know, if that was a sin, if it's not good to do that, then they will be the ones to have to deal with that. You know, and I don't know. I feel like he was very wrong for that. Very wrong for what he did, because like this guy said, this is why a lot of people go home and commit suicide. You know, we don't know what this man's going through. The church member, we don't know what he's going through in his daily life. You know? I mean, come on. You don't know. You never know what the next person is dealing with. All the stress that they're dealing with. And that one time that they get publicly humiliated like that, that could be enough right there to just send them over the edge. And I hope that man, I hope he's not, you know, so torn up inside. I hope and pray that he's not humiliated to the point to where he don't want to go back in the church. I mean, I think that that is just ridiculous. And to be honest with you, I feel like the rules of the church are ridiculous. You can't wear leggings to church? Why not? Because I know you can, I'm sure you can wear a dress with some pantyhose or a dress with some tights under it, but you can't wear leggings? Now, nobody said, you know, wear a little half shirt with some leggings with your booty out. But what's wrong with wearing a longer shirt or a sweater with some leggings under it? What's wrong with that? You know? I just don't get it. If this is a church and you're supposed to come as you are, why are there so many rules? I've never heard of a church give out rules when you become a member of a church. And I've been to many churches. And I've been a member at multiple churches. And I've never, ever been presented with rules when you become a member. The only rule I know in a church is, like I said, come as you are. And you should do unto others as you would like them to do unto you. You're supposed to love everybody. And this is just, I think it is absolutely ridiculous how this preacher or pastor handled the situation. It's a situation that really shouldn't have even needed to be handled. But considering the fact that he said that the gentleman came to him and said he wanted to, he wanted to learn how to be a man. Okay, taking that into consideration, that's when I could say, okay, well, he should have pulled him to the side and, and handled it or prayed for him or prayed with him, prayed over him, whatever, could have needed to be done. But the public humiliation part, that is not the way to handle that situation. That was wrong. He was wrong for that. And the man that came to him and said, I want to learn how to be a man, probably felt that way. Probably felt that way because he's been bashed all his life and put down and possibly treated a certain way, or felt like he always needed to prove to other people, he could, do this and do that, or maybe there was a lot of pressure on him to be more manly. And maybe he wanted to please someone, so he came to church and said, you know what, there must be something wrong with me. Everybody's been telling me there's something wrong with me. Maybe I need help. Maybe that's why he reached out. But regardless of all of that, it was handled in a very disrespectful, unnecessary manner in my eyes. That's how it was handled. So I would love to hear y'all's thoughts and comments and feedback on this topic right here. If y'all have not subscribed to my other channel, please click on the link down below. And if y'all would like to send me anything, you can do so on my email, or you can add me on Facebook and send whatever you like through there. Till the next time I talk to y'all, have a wonderful day, and I love y'all. And just remember, no matter what, be yourself. Be yourself, and and don't let anyone make you feel any less than what you are. Thank you. Have a great day.